the OG pizza man, pizza reviewer in NEPA, Jim Mirabelli, NEPA pizza review. What's up, brother?
A little bit of everything. How about you, buddy?
Dude, man, it's been I was just telling you, it's been over 2 years since we sat down last. I forget should probably have this prompt and ready to go, but it was like February 2021. You were doing your thing, but not anywhere at the level you're doing it now. So I'm excited to kind of just catch up with you and see 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 how much your life has changed in the past 2 years.
Well, every day is a new day and a new learning experience and a new chance to grow is the way I sort of look at it. And when we look at it through a pizza lens, trying to learn new things like TikTok, right, is something I never thought I'd see myself doing. I'm still not very good on TikTok, but my daughter has and I watch it. And now you won't find me doing any silly videos or anything, but actually listen to a couple of audiobooks about TikTok, which is quite lame in itself. But there's so many lessons to be learned out there on social media when you can apply these principles that I've been sort of studying and through trial and error and sort of an academic approach in books. It's amazing what you can do with zero budget if you're doing social media properly. And I'm not saying I'm doing it properly. I'm just there's so much out there that you can do on social, and I like to teach people about pizza. I like to give pizza recommendations, but now I'm pivoting to sharing the things that I've been learning on social media with others, some upstart foodies and different people that want to know the strategies. And I don't pretend to know it all, but it's definitely helped vault me into sort of a new level in the social media space. So it's pretty exciting. And now we're getting into some in-person stuff, which I never thought I'd see happen before, which is really cool.
Yeah, so I want to talk about all of that. I mean, I went back and looked. You were episode 16. Back this was released on February 1st, 2021. So we're well over 2 years now. Um, and this will be episode 132. So a lot, like I said, has happened in the last 2 years, and I'm excited to talk to you about everything that's going on. Maybe you can share with me some some TikTok tips because I don't know how to utilize that platform for what I'm doing because it's weird. It's one of those things, and maybe I should listen to an audiobook or watch some YouTube videos or something because like you said, it's a powerful tool, but like for me, it's just like it's overwhelming and like, it's like I I use TikTok for pleasure and like for humor and things like that. And I'm just not funny. So it's like I don't know how to like utilize it for this platform and promote what I'm doing. Um, I don't know.
So when I say TikTok, what I'm really talking about is modern social media, right? So like Instagram and using Instagram Reels and things like that are the key to growing. They truly are. And I did not want to do 10 to 15 to 30-second videos, had no interest. I'd rather do a 20-minute YouTube. Let me walk you through the whole process, give you sort of this academic approach. And I found people largely aren't interested in that. Now,
No.
there are some who want you to take you through the whole process, but some just want inspiration. Some just want a quick tip. Some just want to be entertained. And really, when you're posting, I found that as I sort of looked, sort of externally at what I was doing, sort of looked within myself, I found that I was just posting things for the sake of posting because people expected me to do it.
Mhm.
And then I sort of learned that every post needs to have a purpose and you have to tell a story with every post, right? So sometimes you're burned out, you put it out there, and it goes nowhere. And I think the social media sites, the algorithms are so powerful, they know when it's a throwaway piece. Now, once in a while you get lucky, something goes like mini viral, something like that, you get 100 likes or 500 likes, whatever. But largely you get in or you get out what you put in, especially in the Reels and the TikTok space. And where I haven't figured TikTok out, what you want to do is grab their attention in the first 3 seconds, right? but you have to add value. Tell them what you're going to do. Are you going to entertain them? Are you going to show them how to do something? What are you going to do? Are you going to provide them some critical information? And then make the video move. Like, it has to flow and it has to go. If there's an extra 3 words, I used to say, "What's up, guys?" at the beginning of every one of my videos. Cut it. Doesn't add any value. Nobody really cares if I'm asking what's up, because you can't answer me back, right? So cut that out. Just get in, move, talk about what you're going to talk about. I even try to like flex into things that aren't my area of expertise. If I share a hoagie, nobody cares. Pizza. I'm known for pizza, right?
Yeah.
I'm also known for local Northeast PA pizza. That's pan-fried Sicilian and Old Forge pizza. Now, are those my favorite styles of pizza? No. Is it what I'm known for? Yes. So I can almost predict, based on the pizza that I put out there, how well the post will do. And I think it's kind of learning your niche and sort of going with that. Find your passion, deliver your passion, and I find that, local pizza is my passion, and I light up, I get excited about it. And I think people, they feel that authenticity, because like, I just pour my heart out about, I'm like a pizza dork, you know what I mean? And I think when you are real and you're honest about it, and you be your true self, like you are on this podcast weekly. It's just amazing that would you say 160 you're on now?
No, I wish. I mean, this will be 132.
Oh, 130, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
But very impressive. I think I started a podcast, I got to episode 1, and then that was it.
Well, it's amazing how many people start podcasts, right? It's like, because everyone's doing it. It's fairly easy to at least launch, right? You were saying about social media, and there's all these tools now where it's pretty easy to publish a podcast, but it's literally, finding the time in the day and being consistent, and just keeping at it, because it's not a lot of work. I mean, I love having conversations with anybody. I mean, this is primarily entertainment and music, but obviously you kind of fill that, you kind of check that box, because like, you're entertaining people and you're providing content and value to, an audience as well. But like, to keep it going, man, it's tough. I mean, I do these at night when my kids are sleeping. Like right now it's 9:30. You just got done running your kids around town, and work and school, and you're trying to catch the Phillies game. It's opening day. It's like, it's hard, man.
Yeah, but you know what? We make time. We love it. And, it doesn't matter if it's 2 a.m. I'll be editing videos or typing a pizza review. And, I'm grateful to have a family that, sort of is patient with me when I need the time to do things like this. But really it's our outlet, right? It's our way to connect. These are our passion projects.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so let's talk about that. I mean, last time we talked, I mean, at that time you were already 9 years in, but like, I feel like in 9 years you only scratched the surface of like what you where you've taken in the past 2 years. Even your background right now. Last time you were doing it, you had a TV off into the corner. It was kind of I don't want to say janky, but like, you weren't like ready, right? Now you're like all in. You got a nice little background. You updated your logo, I think. You've updated your website since then. You've done a ton in the past 2 years. There's collaborations. There's I think you're doing something with the Penguins, if I read that correctly. So the past 2 years, talk about like, am I correct in saying that you kind of like entered a new level in the past 2 years?
Yeah, and a bunch of things happen. I actually was just talking to another blogger, Foodigenous, who does really cool local, super local sort of food traditions about this, and he was making a similar observation. And I had to reflect on that. So it's fresh in my head. There are a number of things that I did, right? So first, the thing I was doing for like 8 or 9 years was, anytime somebody would suggest something, I would try to be all things to all people. If somebody says, you got to go do this, you got to go, well, why don't you start, do the basketball tournament, or I did NEPA Pizza Madness for a while. And that was great. It was a good way to get restaurants exposure. But I wasn't sure it was really advancing the mission, and it was literally 3 months of my life every night, answering questions and configuring. And I don't enjoy configuring and mapping brackets and setting up. That was data entry to me. It really, I'm glad that people got so passionate about it, but I looked at it and I said, I don't know that it's serving its mission anymore. Right. So I thought I sort of got out of COVID, kind of came, and we sort of got out of that line of business. And then I started to look at some other things I was doing, and they were more harder, not smarter. Right. So just sort of let things that didn't really matter to my mission, which is promote local pizza, teach people how to make pizza at home, and show people great pizza products that I believe in, right? So those are kind of my three things that I said, this is what I want to do. And I know I love writing, and so the website remains. I really don't enjoy hearing my voice or seeing my face, but I understand video is the way to connect with folks. They don't want to read. So I've sort of learned to become a little bit more comfortable in front of the camera and sort of accept that. And it really just, I've found my voice. I really distilled down what it is that I want to accomplish here, and that is to connect people and pizza. And I keep it simple, and I use that sort of guiding light and that mission, and my values they're just so clear to me now. And any project that I consider, I get pitched quite a few, but I just ask, does this connect people and pizza? Is this something my audience wants? And to me, it's just so easy once you have all your, sort of ducks in a row and the stars align, it's become so simple for me to say, I appreciate that offer, but it doesn't advance the ball for myself or the readers. And that's not self-serving. Mm-hmm. It's just my mission is here. And, the collaborations that I accept have to be, something that I and my audience are interested in.
Yeah. So talk a little bit about, we'll start here. I see you do a lot of still at home stuff, and you're testing out different ovens and things like that. That's awesome too. And I know you were promoting different products and like your favorites. I remember you and I were back and forth a little bit on some pizza sauces. I was a big fan of, was it Rayo's or
Yep.
It was Rayo's, right? Expensive, but good.
Mm-hmm.
But talk about like that part of, I mean, is that a new thing? I'm guessing as part of who you are, is this connecting pizza and people.
Yeah. And, let's take pre-made pizza sauce. I went out and I said, you know what, I'm going to go buy 50 different pizza sauces and I'm going to try them all. Right. Because there's a lot of aggregated garbage lists on the internet that are just, I don't know if bots make them or somebody just picks 10 things that they can make money off of and puts it in an aggregated list. So I said, you know what? I'm going to go put my reputation on the line. I'm going to actually try these all myself, right? Now, you take a big hit from the pizza snobs because pizza snobs don't believe you should be using pre-made sauce, right? Mm-hmm. But I said, what a learning experience. So I said, let me try these. And then from reading the ingredients on every can, it was amazing what's in these things, right? Mm-hmm. I thought it was fascinating. So I listed every ingredient that's in each sauce right on the article that I wrote. But how different they are, how many different kinds of sauces there are, how the disparity between great ones and just ultra terrible ones. And it's just, me, I don't say bad things about, local pizzas, but, if one of the big boy brands comes up with just a disgusting sauce,
ultra terrible.
I'll still be kind about it, in a formal way, but I try not to specifically trash any particular product out there because they're on the market for a reason. Some people like them for a certain reason. Sometimes it's price. Sometimes it's some people like their sauce to taste like a tin can, I guess. I'm not sure. But the moral of the story is I did this because I wanted to learn and I wanted to share that experience with my readers. Again, I took a lot of flack from the snobs, but who loved it? those people that don't make their own sauce. And you know what? I get hundreds of clicks every week on that article, and it's by far my highest read article week after week after week. So I think that authentic content, actually doing the work and loving the work, is what makes the difference.
100%. I mean, anyone can say like, "Oh, that sauce sucks" or "This sauce is good," but like, unless you try it, unless you know, unless you test it, I mean, you're doing God's work right now.
If however you want to, it's I don't see it as work. I like I said, it's a passion of mine. But I do it with pizza products too, because trying to make pizza at home, like I've grown a lot in 10 years making pizzas. I look at photos of my pizzas 10 years ago, and they were just garbage, just not nice looking pizzas at all. Nothing I was ever proud of. And I always like other people's pizza more than my own anyway. But along the way, I bought a lot of bad products and I wasted a lot of money on these things. And I said, well, I know something that people don't, right? I know what's good and I know what's not. Now, I wish I didn't waste those dollars on those products, but you don't see those products on my website. I only share what things that I believe in,
Sure.
right? So, the olive oil or the sauce, whatever it is, or the pan or the pizza oven. You see I'm wearing this Gozney Pizza Collective sweatshirt now. So I tested out like a dozen different pizza ovens, and I found that my favorite oven was the Gozney Roccbox by far. It's my favorite oven. And I said, I was showing, and I could still recommend those other ovens because I try to match people up with what it is they're actually looking for, not what I want to sell them, right? So I may still recommend something other than a Gozney to them, but I said to myself, this is the oven I believe in. So I reached out and I said, hey, can we work together? So, I found a spot in what is called the Gozney Pizza Collective, which I'm very proud of, that association. And you can see a few logos behind me. These are stickers of either friends or products that I really believe in. So that's really what it's about. I like to work with great people and great products. And if I didn't like your podcast, I wouldn't come on, right? So I want to but that's what it's about. Like, it's about collaboration, it's
Yeah.
about working with great people, and just having fun with it.
Has any of this led to like sponsorship deals?
So I sponsors are just not something like, I haven't figured that out yet, because now I'm an accountant by trade, but in my personal life, tracking sponsorship sounds like a heck of a lot of work, and collecting money and things like that. So I really don't go down that route. I've accepted a few sponsorships for some projects I wanted to do, such as buying the software for NEPA Pizza Madness. I needed a sponsor. I didn't have a budget for that expensive software. So things like that. I have an expensive or a exciting project coming up that I'm not ready to talk about yet, but I'm looking for a sponsor to get a much bigger project than I've ever put together out there. So I'll be looking for a sponsor for that. But you notice there's no banners on my website. There's no, I like, I just like to do my thing. I like to enjoy it. I am what's called an affiliate, right? So if I do recommend a product and I happen to work with them, like Gozney, if someone so chooses to use my link, it doesn't cost them anything. That's sort of how it works. But sponsors, not really my thing so far.
Yeah, maybe sponsor was the wrong word, but maybe like, oh, this company has like a pizza oven they want you to like review. Maybe they would send it to you and say, hey, keep it. It's on us, but tell us what you think of it.
Yeah, that those types of opportunities do present themselves.
Cool.
I decline them at this point. I'm sort of exclusive here with the new company. But yeah, like during the pizza sauce challenge, other companies saw that I was reviewing sauces. Some sent me some sauces to try. Gave them a fair shake. But yeah, different products. I just love trying it. Some you never see because I try them and it's not something that I want to put out on my social media or on my website.
Sure. Yeah, I mean, I have a few sponsors of my own. And I think that, and I appreciate what you're saying about like not taking any on and things like that. Um, shout out to my sponsors, Keller's Garden Center, the V Spot, Axelrad Screen Printing, Paulson Tours, and Ionic Development. Um, for me, it's like one of those things. It's just like those people are so near and dear to my heart, and kind of like, well, maybe not Keller's Garden Center, but like I believe in him 100%, local business, and he does my lawn. Um, so I want to definitely like push him, and like the V Spot and Axelrad and Paulson Tours. It's all like entertainment stuff that I really want to like that I support, and I want people to take advantage of. Kind of in the same vein as far as entertainment and things like that. So I was just asking the question just to see if like that was something that you were ever interested in or got into.
Yeah, it's I want to be clear. I'm not talking negatively about
No, I know you're not. I know you're
getting a
not.
sponsor.
I also wanted to just shout out my sponsors.
No, it's great, and like I believe the podcast model, requires that revenue model to support. You need that the sponsor model, right? But and I can take, I can work with it. I just, like I said, tracking
Yeah.
and I just enjoy sort of the affiliates kind of happen in the
Yeah,
background,
that's
and
cool.
there's not this active process where you're out soliciting or whatnot. But that's not to say I'll never get there. I'm trying to monetize in a different way so that I can sort of pay for my pizza habit, so to
Yeah.
speak.
Well, what if Nardones came up and said, "Yeah, we want to give you like X amount of dollars per month to be a sponsor of the NEPA pizza review?"
So that one would violate one of my values, and
Oh, okay.
that is I will never take a dime from a pizza shop.
Okay.
And I know they're a manufacturing company, but so it's just not something I
Okay.
would do, right? I think it's a conflict of interest. If I'm out
Sure.
reviewing pizzas, I can't unless I'm being paid to wash the dishes or flip some pizzas for them. I won't take a dime from a pizza shop. That's
That's
just
fair.
non-negotiable. But if like suppliers of pizzerias, things like that,
Okay.
it wouldn't be a conflict of interest. It would, if I would have to feel that I could add value to the supplier, and it would have to be something that resonates with my audience. I wouldn't just, if not to say that if Subway came along and offered me, $300,000 for the year, I'd probably have a hard time turning it down, right? But
Right.
not a big Subway guy, but if it worked, it worked. But
Yeah.
I guess everybody's got a price, so to speak. I'm not saying I would take that, but that I think
Yeah, of
what
course.
I'm
Well,
getting at there.
what if Taco Bell came along and said, "Hey, we want to sponsor the NAPA pizza review through Taco Bell, not a pizza shop, but they wanted to use the angle of their Mexican pizza."
Well, I guess I'd have to try the Mexican pizza, and also, they're they have this sort of slapstick campaign with who was that, Pete Davidson or something like that. I could probably make it work. You know what I mean? Like,
Oh, he
Pete's
make
not
it
out
work.
there reviewing the tacos. He's just kind of doing this like slapstick
Yeah, he's just holding his hand,
humor.
you know.
Yeah, so we can make it work as long as it's not, I couldn't do something that jeopardized
Of
my values or my
course.
reputation. But
I appreciate that about you. I do. But again, this is like you said, it's a very passion project oriented things, which is cool. Same for me. We both have full-time jobs. This is just something we genuinely love to do, which is I think there's a lot to be said about that. And it comes from a genuine place, and like, you're not out there just, doing a review to do it. Like, you love doing it, and you're gaining nothing from it other than sharing your love of pizza with other people.
well, nothing, I guess monetarily, if there's that what you're referring to, but I do gain a lot of relationships. I've gained a lot of friends over
Sure.
pizza reviews, right? So you go in, you talk to these owners, you learn their story, and I've gotten some sort of long-term friendships out of these, a lot of connections, and just things that you can't put a price tag on. I do gain from this, and
Sure. Same.
those are just
Same.
priceless.
Yeah. Talk a little bit about that. Like, I mean, you can use a specific example, or just you can generalize it, but like, talk about how, you know, those relationships have, blossomed into, friendships or whatever it might be, like, because it's cool, right? It's like, you're doing these reviews, it's for nothing else other than to, connect pizza and people, right?
Mhm.
Talk about those relationships that you've built over the years.
Well, I mean, here's one. I was just talking to. I'm doing at first. I'm doing with WVIA. They're doing a 10-part local pizza documentary. I don't know if you saw that.
Mm.
Just on the pizza here in Northeast PA, 10 different pizzerias. So I'm going to be a part of that. And I was over at Rosario's in Clark Summit and doing an interview there. And the producer asked me about a story. Why is this? Why are you here? Why is this your favorite place? Or what, why is this you frequent here? And it all started actually when it was early on. It was over a decade ago. I was in and I had an okay slice from Rosario's. It was my first time there. He just bought the place from Basilico's and started it up, and it was an okay slice, and I wrote an okay review about it. And my writing style was much more just scattered and all over the place at the time, but I got an email from Rosario, the owner, and he wasn't too happy with my review. So he said, "Why don't you come down? We'll talk about it. We'll see what you think, whatever, and we'll try it. Here we go." So, I nervously went in, and so we sat down and we talked, and we noticed we had so much in common. Like, we worked at some of the same places, with a lot of the same interests, and lo and behold, he explained, I came in at 3 o'clock when the sliced pies are not as perfect as they normally were, different pizza guy on or whatever. And I learned a big lesson there. And if sometimes people have an off day, right? Because
Hmm.
every pizza I've had since has been, wonderful. And we're there probably once a week now for the last 5 years or so. Or twice a month, whatever it is. But we became good friends through that conversation. Now it could have been tense, and we could have been standoffish, and he could have not emailed me, and I could have just blown him off when he did email me. But I came in and
You
we
could
talked.
he could have brought you in, beat you over the back of the head.
He could have, but he didn't. Right? He invited me in, right? And we broke bread or pizza crust, whatever you want to say, and we had a great conversation. And and here, it blossoms into a long-term friendship. And those examples now, just time and time again, I run into these people, and it's we keep the conversation going. Sometimes it's just a text message a month or something like that, but every time I stop in to see them, we just pick up where we left off.
Yeah, and I think also, I mean, I know you don't ever write anything bad, right? But this instance, it wasn't a great one. But maybe sometimes people need that kind of truth. And like, oh, he didn't like this. He's a professional. He's had 1,000 different pizzas in his life, and how can I be better? Like, maybe you tend to, or you could help elevate these people as well.
I totally agree with that. Right. Um, so what I mean by that, when I say I won't write a bad review, right? Bad meaning overly just
This pizza sucks. Like,
yeah.
they should close today.
So let's just address that quickly. So if I don't feel a pizza has value, right? If it doesn't score over, say, a 5, okay, if we want to put a number on it, um, I just simply will not post it on my site. I don't post photos on my social media, and I don't feel like it's my job to go out there and tell people what is bad out there. Right? You can get a lot of clicks by being controversial and negative, right? I can grow 10 times faster if I do that. If you're provocative and negative and cut people down, I don't want to do that. The thing I'm most proud of is building a positive audience that is generally supportive of the local businesses here. So that's very important. Number one. Number two is I do say some critical things, meaning if the crust is undercooked, you will see that in my review. Now, will I say this is a disgusting crust because it's, it's soggy mess? No, I won't say that. I'll show you a picture because people eat with their eyes and they can judge for themselves if it's undercooked. Because believe it or not, some people like it really soft and really like bready, right? But some people, like if you're from like New Haven, Connecticut, you like it black and burnt, what we call it char up there, right? But it's all a matter of preference. So what people are reading when they read my reviews is my opinion on the pizza. And those who've been with me long enough know what I like. And then they could say, okay, I either have similar tastes to Jim in this, or I don't, but I can understand where he's coming from because he's written 500 reviews, right? So it's there, it's documented. My job is not to convince you to go try the pizza that I just tried. My job is to show you the pizza, tell you about its attributes, and then you decide if you want to try that, right? And time again, I'm very successful at matching up people with pizza that they enjoy. And when I do also get feedback when a pizza that I recommend is not up to snuff too. But that's about 1 out of 100. And
Okay.
I think 99% success rate's pretty darn good.
It's pretty good. Yeah. I take that on. That's awesome. I'd imagine it's hard to please everybody too.
Oh, it is. And like I said, that was one thing that I early on, that I was just trying to please everybody. I was trying to do everything for all people. And I said, like I'm going to find the audience that just what I don't care how many followers I have. Let me just go get the audience that wants to follow. Like, I'm not going to go pull you in. I'm not going to go advertise and pay to go get more followers or do these. I used to try to do like giveaways and different things like that. And I just found they don't serve any purpose, right? Like I'm not here to do giveaways, right? Like I don't have resources to do giveaways like that, right? So why don't I just do my thing? And if you want to come along from the ride, let's do that. Like, what does 100,000 followers even mean? You know what I mean? Well, what is that? Like, you see some of these corporations with 2 million followers, they get like 40 likes on a post.
Right.
Where did that get you? You know what I mean? I care about the quality of the interaction. I actually want to know what kind of pizza you like. I want to know what you think about the place that I just posted about. And when I ask a question at the end of my each post, I really want you to answer that because I'm actually interested, right? So it's not about this like metrics game for me or growth or numbers. It's really about getting to know what it is that you like. And then I get better because I learn about your preferences. Generally, other people have the same preferences. And then I find another great pizza and another great concept. And that's, I think my readers make me better every single day because they're so engaged and they let me know what to do next.
Yeah. Yeah, you talk about your followers and your audience. I mean, you have 20,000 on Facebook, Instagram. You have a little over 16,000. I'm not sure where you are at on TikTok, but I imagine it's pretty safe to say that audience is, like you said, it's not, you're not out there advertising or promoting your page. You're just kind of all organic, and they come as you do the reviews. Like, do you see a bump every time you do a new pizza review, or is it been a quick followership, or is it kind of built over the years gradually?
I would say very gradual. The last year has been a lot faster because I sort of refined, my social strategies and learned about when to post, when my readers are looking for my information, right? So they either they want to get ready for lunch or they want to get ready for dinner. They want to get ready for Pizza Friday. So I learned when they want to see my posts. And so scheduling is very important. I also learned just what they want to see, right? And you can almost predict which posts will be popular and which ones won't, right? And a lot of that also depends on like I'll be very transparent about my social strategy that I didn't even realize I was deploying it, but like if you go to local places and you review their stuff, you tag them and then they share it to their viewers and readers, that's an instant way to. Now I stumbled into that, and I observed this over time. It wasn't a strategy that I developed. I just sort of stumbled into it, but it's a proven way to grow on social media. That being said, we asked about like, can I, how do I know which ones will be popular? Like, take for example, you go to like Cebula's, right? I did a reel there. I did an article about their pizza. It's the most unique pizza in the world, as far as I'm concerned.
Now, is this Cebula's prior to? Because I think they're new ownership right now.
New ownership, same pizza.
Same pizza, right? But was this review done pre new ownership or after?
I've done it twice. I did it like really early on.
Okay,
and
so kind of both.
Yeah.
Cool.
And so I wrote the article and then I went back. In fact, the new owner asked me, say, hey, don't necessarily agree with a couple of things in your article. Maybe you come down and give it a shot again. And I did, but that's not really the point. The point is, Cebula's has a religious following, like of people who really believe in the product. And I went there and I tried the pizza. And first, I loved it, scored it very high the first time, loved it, scored it very high this time. But the story to me this time was, this is the most unique pizza I've ever seen. And then, so that ended up being the caption in my reel that I talked about. And that thing took off. I'm not sure how many views it has, but it's one of those reels that just keep going, right? I still see comments like 2 months later coming up. And but Cebula's has that natural following, and they get you past the first layer, gets your content past the first layer, because their supporters are so rabid about their pizza. And then when somebody says something that they agree with or disagree with, they come in, so that helps your circulation on social. But that's one that kind of sticks out in my mind, that really took off.
I live about 10 minutes from there and I've never had it. Do you believe that?
I cannot believe that.
My wife grew up on that. They called it I won't even say it because it's not a derogatory I'll just call it scab pizza. I think it's scab and I think it's something gross. I didn't want to like be negative. But I mean it's not, because it's people love it and they eat it, and I have yet to have that.
So the scabs, I learned, are the cheese that melts over the edge,
right,
and sort of burns.
Right.
But you can order, like, how you can order at Long John Silver's the fried crumbs that fall off.
Yeah.
You can order the scabs like as a sidecar, like as like an appetizer. Wow. You know what I mean?
All right.
I learned that after the fact, because of course my readers told me about it after the fact. Now I wish I knew going in, because I would have ordered them.
Right.
And then eat them like cornflakes or something. I don't know, but
I have to get over there. I've been living, like I said, 10 minutes from them for the past, it'll be 7 years now. Never had it.
Got to change that.
Crazy.
Especially because it is the most unique pizza. It is. And even the more fun part about eating the pizza is speculating what's in it. Right. A lot of theories out there: potato in the dough. It's this kind of cheese. It's that kind of cheese. Cool story. I followed up with the owner after, and I said, hey, are you going to put this potato myth to bed for us? Like I totally knew he was going to blow it up, but really cool fun fact. I told them, I was like, I have people tell me that they look through your dumpster and like to see what, many people have told me this over the years, and they try to find your like sauce labels and things like that. Right. And he says, well, they're not going to find anything because they burn everything in the coal furnace downstairs.
Oh, wow, okay.
So you're not going to find the recipe to Cebula's because it doesn't exist except for in like one person's mind.
Under lock and key.
Yeah, it's very cool. The mystique is like it makes me just want to go back again and again because it's so cool. I want to take another stab at what's in that dough and what cheese they're using because
I'll tell you
it's so
what.
cool.
The next time you go, even if it's not a review, just to go have a slice or get some pizza, hit me up. I'll meet you there.
We'll do.
All right.
Let's do it. No
That's a
pressure. I
deal.
don't even have to do a review. No, I'm gonna do a
No,
video.
we'll just enjoy some pizza together. But I imagine, well, real quick, I'll try and get back to this question when we get past this. But from a marketing standpoint and things like that, you kind of deployed your a stamp of approval, so to speak. And in fact, it's funny because today I was at Dino's Pizza in the Wyoming Valley Mall, and I saw on their counter or on the glass that they have the counter that this pizza is NEPA pizza review approved. That's pretty neat.
Oh man, that's an idea I had before you and I last talked. I just never had like a budget to, go create stickers like that. So, doing the affiliate thing sort of helped me afford things like that so that I could sort of give back. And, it's a cross promotional win-win, right? So
Sure.
I created this sticker. It has a little QR code that takes you to my website where the review is. It says NEPA pizza review approved. Obviously, I'm just describing it for the readers at home. And it's actually the background on my Facebook page. So if anyone wants to see, but so what I do is, and there's a guy called the Pizza Hulk. He's a Jersey pizza reviewer, and I saw he actually did it. Like he's giving his out. So I finally said, "Hey, bud, I wanted to do this for a while. Would you mind if I took your idea?" I had thought about it for a while, but he was the first to execute it. So I always give him credit for me doing this because he does a great job and he's been doing this sticker thing a lot longer. But I didn't know, like, first rule with me, I assume nobody cares about what it is that I'm doing.
Same,
Right?
dude.
I
Same.
assume nobody knows me and nobody cares.
Yep.
So when I give them this sticker, I tell them, like, some people probably throw it away. I don't know what you want to do with it, but this is my stamp of approval. I appreciate what you're doing. You know what I mean? Good job. And a lot of times it's, people get excited about it because, people, if you're in the restaurant
They're
business,
proud. Yeah.
you don't always hear good things, right? So it's a nice way to just a physical form to say, like, hey, great job today,
Mhm.
and a lot of them are putting it on their doors or their display cases, and that's quite an honor. It's quite an honor. I give them the sticker. I don't necessarily expect them to do anything with it, right? Because, like, who am I? What's
Right.
my opinion worth? Whatever you want it to be worth.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, probably really cool that when you hear or see those out there and in the wild.
I have to get a lot more out because I didn't buy them until, I don't know, 6 months ago. So retroactively, I have many to get out. So as I'm sort of driving through towns where I see a place, I got to stop and drop that. I owe Sabula's one. I forgot to give it to him. I was taking in the story and I forgot to drop the sticker.
Well, when you go in there, I'll meet you.
You got it. You got it.
What I wanted to ask before is, you talk about these, what's the word I want to use? Not old wives' tales. That's the wrong word. I'm trying to think of, there's a movie about the whole thing, but like you talk about the, at Sabula, people looking into like their garbage for, what the ingredients are. I would imagine there's probably like people are really proud of their pizza. People, there's different styles of pizza. People are very, there's pizza like that, can't be repeated in, the area, and God forbid you leave NEPA. I mean, they always say you can't get a fucking good slice of pizza outside this area. Have there been other stories that you've come across where, like a folklore about, is there potato in the crust and things like that?
Yes. I get messages like periodically, we'll say. Maroney's is a big one. That's like a legendary place in West Scranton. that people are, oh, I know, the cheese and the this and the that. Okay, sure. You know what I mean? Or like, or Victory Pig's another one. People, oh yeah, I don't think you do. You know what I mean? Like, but let me just say this, right? Here's an important point, right? If let's say let's say Pizza Lovin' gave me their recipe right now, wrote it down, told me how to do it, not a chance I can make their pizza. Not a chance. They can literally spot me the ingredients and the recipe, the process, the way they do it, the ovens they use, the mixer they use, the water they use, the temperatures, the humidity that they have. It's not going to come out like that. That's the magic of why we have so many different pizzas. That's why every pizza is different here in Northeast PA. You can't recreate the conditions that exist, right? And sometimes it's just the hands that are kneading the dough that makes all the difference. Like, can't replicate it. So, like I said, if anyone handed me a recipe, what am I going to do with it, right? Unless I'm there doing it alongside and I know how to do it, so I don't buy in too much to people that say they know the recipe, and honestly, I don't even want to know them, right? Because like that's like,
You don't care. Yeah, it's not important.
yeah,
It tastes
and
good.
like I like, and if like sometimes like a friend will tell me like, I have a buddy, he likes Dino Francesco's. I happen to have worked there for 5 years, have no idea what the recipe is, but I like to go and emulate what their pizza tastes like for friends, right? If somebody says, oh, I like I like Arcaro and Janelle's, I don't know what their cheese blend is, I'll take a stab at it, and that's my way of playing like pizza chopped, right?
Mhm.
Like, just try to make it happen and do the best you can. And that's fun for me because like I'm the guy that never liked the magician to reveal his tricks. I like to just, you know what, you got me good, and that's the magic of it, right? Like, I don't need to know your recipe, you did a great job.
Yeah.
That let's leave it at that.
Yeah, I don't care.
Yeah,
It tastes great.
I mean, I do. But
Yeah.
I'd love to be able to do what they do. I can't. I
Right.
make my style of pizza.
So you think that's what it is? It's the humidity, it's the water, it's a bunch of different variables that can't be repeated on or in other parts of the country.
I mean, you can make it close. You
Yeah,
know what I mean. You can make a pizza close. But I'm just saying, there's so many
it's different.
variables
Yeah,
in dough in particular. Like it's not going to be the same. It just
yeah,
this and it particularly it happens. You'd mentioned an owner taking over, and that's happened a lot. During COVID, we had a lot of changeover, folks selling and going out of business, and then new owners taking over. And the first thing you always hear is, it's not the same.
hmm
Well, I don't know if that's a psychological thing or if the pizza is actually different. But
maybe.
what I
Yeah,
do know, it's usually a new person handling the dough, a new person making the pizza, a new person, here's something as simple as I remember my first time making pizza sauce. I used a giant immersion blender in the restaurant, and my boss came out and said, "Oh, what are you doing?" Well, we don't use the immersion blender; we use a hand crank blender, a food mill.
sure.
And I, at that time, had no idea why it was such a big deal, but the flavor, the texture, everything was different, especially since like any seeds that were in those tomatoes, I was like emulsifying them, and the seeds of the tomatoes make just not a great flavor,
Right.
where the
Yeah.
food mill sort of coaxes them and even removes some of them.
Hmm.
But those little tiny tweaks, just how you do it, change the end result.
Yeah. I mean, a guy like me would never even think about stuff like that. That's why I'm not making pizza.
Well,
It'd be a bad pizza.
it's well, no, I don't know. Would it though? Like
I don't know.
it's all relative. Like
I'd
that's
be put
what it.
those seeds would be staying in there. People would be chewing on them. Be bad news.
But some people prefer that flavor too,
Mm,
right? So,
sure.
or
Yeah. I
it's what
mean,
you grew up with.
yeah. Yeah. I mean, pizza is such a tradition, in so many people's lives. And that's what I think, you talk about, a platform that you have. It's like you are talking about something that everybody loves. I don't know anyone who hates pizza, and if that person hates pizza, I don't want them as my friend. In fact, one of my friends stopped eating pizza for I think I don't know 7, 8, 10 years. I don't know why, and I questioned our friendship over it. He has since come around to start eating pizza again, but I mean, what a great food to just I'm gonna say bond over because that's kind of sounds cheesy, no pun intended, but uh yeah, I mean, I think it's like there's nothing better. Like Pizza Perfect is a perfect example of uh a tray of pizza that like I have friends that moved out that lived in Dallas near Trucksville where Pizza Perfect is. We grew up there. We were college in the area, and they moved out to Penn State or Pittsburgh and things like that. And when they're home, we kind of make it a point to go and get um that pizza from when we were 18, 19, 20 years old that we kind of, you know, uh, it takes us back to those times in our lives. So pizza's very, I don't know. Has definitely has like a nostalgia to it a lot of times.
Oh, it does. And so like pizza brings back memories. One of my favorite posts, I do it about twice a year, is I ask my readers to share with me their favorite pizza memories. And you get paragraphs. And like you can almost feel like you were sitting at the table with them because it's so vivid and so clear to them that they associate this great memory with their grandmother or grandfather or parents or friends, whatever it was, or a win after a football game or whatever it might be. Those great memories are there and you can't take them away. And like pizza's an emotional food. And then talk about talking about pizza. It's kind of like talking about the weather, right? Now you and I were having a great conversation here, and you're very easy to talk to, very approachable. But I actually am not a great interpersonal type speaker, right? Meaning like I don't know how to start conversations very well. Okay. And I think a lot of people, when they, recognize me perhaps in the supermarket or whatever, expect me to be like charming and outgoing. I don't know. I think people are largely disappointed when they meet me because, I don't like, I'm a little awkward, you know what I mean? Or maybe a lot awkward, but pizza breaks that barrier for me. It helps me connect to people in a way that I otherwise would not have been able to connect. Right.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to say it's a superpower or something, but like, I have this little anxiety. Like I feel like I'm going to say the wrong thing. Right. But if you can ask somebody what their favorite pizza shop is, or, like, tell me about what you think about that, or like, then it gets started. And then you can kind of get into some other stuff on a more personal level. So I'm very grateful to have this sort of built-in icebreaker in my life, and it's helped me in a lot of ways.
Yeah, it's cool. I mean, like I relate pizza, like people kind of bond over it. Beer, same thing, kind of brings people together, and it's a it's like a communicative thing. It's not even a word, I don't think, but you know what I'm saying? Like it just kind of like people can do a lot over sharing a pizza or sharing a beer and things like that. And I also think that, a lot of these places do such a great job of giving back to their local community, whether it's providing fundraising efforts for a school or a football team and things like that. Like I don't think people realize how impactful um these local places aren't only serving us pizza, they're also a huge part of our communities. Can you agree to that?
You hit it right on the head, right? So like I say, these small businesses are the backbone of our communities, right? So they're taking their profits and they're buying dance shoes and sponsoring the little league team, and they're not paying a CEO a bonus, a bigger bonus than he or she otherwise would have had. And that is not to say negative things about franchises like Domino's or something like that, because look, local people own those too, and local
Hmm.
people work there. But the locally owned mom and pop shops are the unique, quirky, different, blood, sweat, and tears, family owned, generation after generation, like family supporting, community sustaining enterprises that we really need. And if we let them go away, we become areas like, I don't know, the Midwest. And this is not a knock on the Midwest, but I have so many of my followers that leave Northeast PA and they tell me it's a pizza wasteland out here. There's nothing here. They have, Papa John's, Domino's, a few other chains, and that's it. And that is ubiquitous and boring to me, right? The fact that you get the same exact slice of pizza anywhere in the country, that's not a good thing to me, right? I don't want to have the same experience twice. I want a new pizza every time. Now, if I order the, grandma pizza at Rosario's, I expect a very similar grandma pizza the second time that I bought it, right? But, I don't want this ubiquitous, spongy, thing that they refer to as a pizza at, one of the chains. So that's just me, but other people, they like the consistency. That's why McDonald's and Burger King and all these other large chains exist, like, because people want to know what they're getting when they go there.
Yeah. I mean, I hope no one who's watching this or listening to this gives me a shit for this, but I mean, I think Domino's, I mean, it's not good the next day reheated. It's actually terrible. But I mean, when it's midnight, 1 o'clock, when other places are closed and they're still delivering, it's a good pizza.
There's literally, I am not saying anything negative about Domino's here, right? I don't think Domino's competes with our local pizzerias. Number one,
they don't.
They are a fast food pizza that is selling on price, even though you can really rack up a bill quickly when you add on those options. But convenience, convenience is what they're doing, and speed, right? So they're going to get it there in 30 minutes. You call one of our local guys on a Friday, sometimes it's 2 hours to get a delivery.
Yeah. But I mean, you can't call Jerry's or Antonio's on a Friday in Lent and not get a busy signal for 2 hours.
It's kind of part of the magic, though, right?
Hell yeah.
It's in demand, right? Now I'm not a big wait in line guy. So I'm more inclined to order on a Tuesday than I am on a Friday.
Smart.
I think I would drive my wife insane with the, oh, you want to order out now?
Yeah.
Because I believe that ordering on a slower night or a slower hour of the day increases my chances of getting the best representation of what a place can do. So that's full transparency on how I like to order whenever possible.
You're a smart man. But yeah, I think people talk shit on Domino's, and that's fine. I think pizza is also subjective, and it's each their own. But I don't hate Domino's.
It's got its purpose in the marketplace, right? And like I said, I don't think they compete at all with our local mom and pop shops.
Have you tried? There's two, I believe, just two. Maybe there's more, but Pizza Hut has come back.
I saw that. The new
Pittston,
Pizza Hut.
There's Pittston and Kingston.
So my last Pizza Hut experience was not at either of those locations, but you don't see it on my website.
Okay.
And it was I had no sense of nostalgia, and I grew up on the Book It program.
Yeah, same.
That you get your small personal pan pizza while your parents have to go buy a $15 pan pizza, right?
Yeah.
And a pitcher of soda. But we'll leave it at that. I didn't write about it.
Well, if people listen this far through and they heard you say that, they know where that or what that means. So,
however, I didn't tell you what the location was, and I'm saying those new locations, I didn't try them.
Okay,
could have been something else. But I did see, though, that I don't know if you saw. There's a new food blogger, pizza guy out. DiMattia's Food Fight is out. I don't know if you saw him or not.
I wanted to talk to you about him, so let's do that. It was funny because I saw him pop up, and he kind of popped up out of nowhere, right?
Mm-hmm.
And good looking guy, great beard, right? And he has like a full blazer, like a pizza. I don't know if it's embroidered or if it's or a patch or whatever it might be, but I'm like, oh, who's this guy? And I'm like, I wonder if is this. And I know you're not this kind of guy. I know that you weren't like, oh, this guy, what's he doing on my turf? No, you're not like that. I'm not saying that. In fact, I saw you guys do a video on social media together, which is cool. But yeah, talk about this guy. He came out kind of out of nowhere to me, and I was when I saw him, I thought of you immediately, just because you are the OG pizza reviewer in NEPA, and he's doing his thing too.
So let me just first say, anytime a new pizza person comes to the area, I get messages from people like, "Can you believe?" And it's like, guys, I don't own this area.
Right, exactly.
I like look, but here's the thing. If someone's out there and they want to put themselves out there to, bear themselves to the world, I mean, you know what it's like. You're putting yourself out here every week and support local businesses by giving them publicity. I'm all in,
Oh yeah,
right?
good thing.
So there's also the Pagash review guy, right? Met him too. He does great work on during Lent. He does potato pizza reviews,
Right.
right? So I do what I can to help him grow, because like part of my mission, right?
Sure.
It's like connect people in pizza. I don't like to review a lot of Pagash pizza. It's like it's too heavy for me. Plus, like I like to save my carbs for like the regular pizza, if you will.
Yeah.
But like I said, I like to support the foodies who support the local businesses here, right?
Right.
And I am like, to think that I would be the only person that has a valid opinion on pizza in Northeast Pennsylvania is ridiculous.
Right.
And like, you know what I mean? And like, I don't force my opinion on anybody. And like I welcome more foodies out there to, we have so many great businesses. I can't even get to them all.
Right.
Right.
Yep.
So I'm all in. But anyway, specific to Brian, he just switched his name to DiMattia's Food Fight, which is cool because he's a cage fighter, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So interesting. And so I think the name really fits. And he's got he's got like a news thing going on there. So
Right.
I played sort of a reporter role in
Right.
his video. So it was a lot of fun, but totally different type of content, totally like not even in the same realm. But the thing is, if we're just being ourselves, there's literally no one that can copy being me, right?
Right.
I have a whole unique set of experiences. I have a unique perspective, and like I myself would not be interested in what I myself have to say, right? Like I always say, if I had to live with myself, that would be a terrible thing, because so like I welcome all these people into the I don't know if you saw, there's the French onion soup girls that go
I was
out and
gonna
review.
ask you that. Yeah. I don't know if you know who's behind that, but I mean, I used to hate. Well, I shouldn't say that. I didn't even know if I hated it. I heard onion and soup, and I'm like, I'm out. And it wasn't until I met my wife that I decided to give it a try, and I was like, holy shit, I've been missing out for all these years. I think it's great. And it's also a dish that is different everywhere you go. And it's amazing. I think amazing thing about food in general, right? It's like nothing anywhere is the same. Your cheesesteak here is different than your cheesesteak over here, and that's like one of the coolest thing about businesses and food and just everything and people, right? We're all different. And yeah, I was wondering if you knew about that page and who's behind that, because that's a cool little um source to reference.
Oh, absolutely. They're doing an incredible job, and they're consistent too. They pump out the reviews like once a week. So, and that's the hardest thing about food blogging, or blogging at all, or podcasting, is being consistent and
Mhm.
showing up and being reliable, right? Because once you start, people start relying on you, and they want to see it consistently. You take a month off, you're all of a sudden you're not relevant anymore.
Right.
I'm not sure if the French Onion ladies want to remain anonymous or not. So
Yeah, don't tell me.
I'll message you them
Okay.
off the air, because I've spoken to her several times. So we actually have planned a collab, and my
Cool.
schedule just didn't hasn't worked out yet, right? I think you and I were committed to do a pizza review
We
about
have,
over 2
yeah,
years ago and didn't
yeah.
happen. So I apologize. I'm a
No, it's
little
all good,
delinquent
man.
with
It's
everyone.
all
Sorry
good.
about that.
Well, you even threw it in my lap saying like, hey, like if there's a place you want to like check out, let me know. And I honestly, like, I just um all the places that I really enjoy, you've already also have been to and reviewed. So I was trying to think of a place that I've never been to, and it's just kind of one of those things. It's like out of sight, out of mind type of thing. So
And now, and just something on the places I've been to, right? So early on, I went through and I did I'm going to have the cheese pizza because that's what I like. I'm just like a cheese pizza. But I found that a lot of places, their signature item is just not a cheese pizza, right? And people tell you immediately, as soon as I post a review, what'd you order that for? That's not like, get the fresh tomato, or like,
yeah,
you go get, like,
I've seen that.
it
Yep.
has to be the hot wing pizza there, right? And like, it's just, what are you doing? You know, like Cal Russo's for instance, like the white fresh tomatoes, just that's the move to me. Like that's the one. Like it's what you do there. But you know, so I've been trying to be a little more responsive to people that like when I get clusters of people to say, "Gosh, you know, you didn't try this there," and if I hear from 5, 6, 7, 8, 10 people, then that motivates me to get back, right? To go try it again and try whatever specific menu item they told me to get. And I think it makes for better content too, because it's more interesting. A plain cheese pizza doesn't photograph necessarily well. It's not something that like it's not interesting content.
Yeah.
Although it is my favorite kind of pizza, but I found people really want more than that, right? So we're doing all sorts of crazy stuff now. Like Vidaro's did a Texas Wiener pizza, and I had made one a Detroit style one of those a few months prior, and I thought it was gonna be disgusting, but I just wanted to try it, right? So I have my mom. She works at Krispy Kreme, and I love taking pizzas down to them because they're honest with me. When I make a bad pizza, they tell me it's bad, right? Um, they're more kind about it, but I know when they're being, you know, when it's not a good one. So I took this Texas Wiener pizza down thinking it was going to get thrown back at me, and I usually wait, you know, and then I'll get a couple hours later, I'll get the feedback, and I got a call immediately. Can you make another one? Because like they were all in on this, and I was like, man, but it's like it's kind of gross. Like it's got hot dogs and chili and mustard and onions. And now I happen to like chili dogs
Sure.
myself, but like the pizza didn't strike me as something anybody would be interested in. But Vidaro's recently did it out in Blakely, and he like flew off the shelves. Like just people went crazy over it. So you know, these things are interesting, and coincidentally, the video I posted of Vidaro's did very well because it was interesting and different, and you know, it was if something people hadn't seen before, and it's controversial.
Hmm.
And if that's as controversial as I get, like, is
Yeah.
this pizza or isn't it pizza?
Right.
Where do you draw the line on what is a pizza?
Ah, I mean, I don't know if I could draw a line. I mean, if you can fit it in a triangle or fit it in a rectangle on dough, then you know it's pretty it's fair game to a degree, in my opinion, for what it's
That's
worth.
that's pretty much where I'm at. We have a lot
Yeah.
of, you know, purists out there
Yeah.
that, you know, it's got to be a Neapolitan style sausage
Yeah.
cheese, and it's got to be from this town, this whatever. But you know, I like to have fun with it. You know, I have a really open interpretation of what I think pizza is, and I don't think we should be limiting ourselves to, you know, this very narrow set, because like there's so much to be adventurous about
Yeah.
in pizza land, you know. And if you don't like all that stuff, everyone offers the plain cheese anyway, so
Of course. Yeah.
go
It's
for it.
standard, right?
Mhm.
Now, have you, and forgive me if you have you tried or reviewed Pizza Bella, or have you tried anything from Amadeo's, specifically the shrimp and hot peppers pizza?
So Amadeo's, I haven't been there,
Maybe that's our
and
place.
That's the place.
Maybe that's our place. Maybe that's where we do it.
And shrimp and hot peppers is like an NEPA thing.
Dude,
Like
it's so good. It is so good.
I don't think other when I ask people from other parts of even the state about this, they like, what are you doing up there? What do you know, like I just don't think it's a normal combination.
What are you doing up there?
But I mean,
That
the
got me.
people are
That's
like,
good. Yeah, what are
they
you
don't
doing?
go together. You know what I mean? But so I was just at Bar Pazzo. I did this.
Yeah, I
I
saw
was like
that.
the announcer up there.
The March
For
Madness or whatever it was.
Yeah, coolest pizza event of all. Like just the coolest thing. Chef
John
Tabone
Tabone
there.
is he's the man.
But they made 8 different pizzas. 8 chefs each had a pizza. Well, Tabone ended up. It was anonymous as to who made what, but he made a shrimp and hot pepper pizza.
Oh yeah, damn.
It was just bonkers. It was out of like it was amazing, just incredible. Like one of them did like a Philly style roast pork, long hots, broccoli rabe type thing. Just wow, it was an incredible event. But anyway, shrimp and hot peppers. Yes, I've tried it. No, I haven't had Amadeo's. And then the other one was, have I tried Pizza Bella?
Yeah.
And this is one where I listened to people. They said the hot wing pizza. Do the hot wing pizza. Don't bother with the plain. No, I still got a plain anyway. And that was pretty good. But the hot wing pizza was special because the sauce is special. It's hot, it's sweet, it's like smooth. And it was awesome. Chunks of chicken, swirled it on top. They do it their own way. It's a beautiful thing. And I would have had an okay experience if I just did my cheese pizza thing, right? Because like the people were wonderful, and the pizza was good, but like the showstopper was the hot wing pizza. And I'm glad I listened to the readers because like I had something really noteworthy, and because people already knew, the people who were in the know supported that post because it's like, yeah, I told you so.
Told you so, yeah. And I would have told you the same thing. I would have told you the same thing.
Right. And you might have been one of the ones that commented on it, but
maybe.
But that, like, I think that's really this kind of comes full circle back to how to grow on social media, is like really listen to your followers. They're there for a reason.
Speaking of followers, and I think we should definitely try. And if you haven't done Amadeo's yet, they have different kinds. They have red, fresh tomato, and basil and garlic. Open face white, double crust with spinach or broccoli. But I mean, my favorite, hands down, shrimp and hot peppers.
Well, that's what we're gonna get.
If we want to do that, if we want a place that you haven't been to yet, new place for you, a little new experience as far as that from them anyways, the shrimp and hot peppers. Let's do it.
Amadeo's is on notice.
All right, shots fired. We're coming.
I think you're a tougher reviewer than I am, but
it's hard for me, man. Like it's not a lot like knocks me off my feet. It takes, there's a handful of restaurants that like I leave and I'm like, wow, that was fucking good. A lot of times it's like, that was good. It tasted good. It came out hot. It was all good. And not just pizza, just restaurants in general. But like, there's a handful of restaurants that are like, Bistro on the Ave is one of those, like, wow, that was fucking good. And it's good every fucking time. And the French onion soup from there, I actually commented on the French onion page and saying like, you gotta check this one out. The Ricassa on Main, they have a pasta dish that was like out of this world. I was just like blown away. The Beaumont Inn is one of those restaurants that I was like always like, wow, this is amazing. But yeah, it takes a lot from, and I mean, I'm a nobody. Like I don't have any kind of culinary experience, or no one should judge, or no one should take my advice or take a review from me, so to speak, because I'm a nobody. But it takes a lot for me to be like, wow, for what it's worth.
I'd say a couple things about that. First, I mean, aren't we all nobodies, right? But
yeah.
But I asked a question the other day on my Facebook page: should a pizza reviewer know how to make a great pizza? And I didn't ask that people assumed I was talking about myself because I happen to make pizza and review, but I actually was interested in what people had to say. And I think it was about 50-50, but a lot of people said, no, why would you have to know how to make pizza to judge a pizza? And I thought that was insightful because like you have all these experiences, right? If you travel and you try a bunch of things, those are relevant experiences. And like if you take every experience you have, like and take it seriously, or at least, use it in a way that like you're filing each one away and you're comparing one to the other, you're judging what. So I don't think you need to be this chef to be able to judge a pizza or judge whatever it may be. So I would say that first.
Yeah. I think it's both. I mean, there's like, I think it's a pro and con for both, right? It's, in my opinion, I mean, it's good that you couldn't, right? Because you don't know, how the sausage is made. So you're not kind of critiquing it in that retrospect. You're just kind of like, it just, you know, surface level, just I'm taking a bite and I like it for what it is. I'm not analyzing it for whatever reason. But also in the same sense, knowing what you're talking about, knowing what you're reviewing, there's a lot of street cred, behind that too.
And I think that's your angle, right? So my angle is like, look, I've been making pizza for like well over 20 years,
Right.
and I study it, and I show up making pizza every day like I've never made one before. Like I want to learn. I'm a blank canvas. I want to grow and get better. I like to listen. I like to ask questions, but like, but you don't need that experience. Like in order to gain an audience or be a pizza influencer, you have to be a known commodity and people have to know what it is you stand for and like what constitutes a good pizza for you, right? So like our most, the most famous pizza reviewer in the world, right? He likes thin, crispy, well done pizza. That his followers know. Now, I imagine he couldn't make a great pizza, but his followers know he's when he finds those pizzas and they happen to like that type of pizza, they flock there, right?
Are you not going to say his name? Because I
Oh,
was actually,
go ahead, go for it.
I was going to bring up the last time we spoke, you were getting some unkind messages from the Stoolies.
Yeah, yeah, I still get those.
I was going to
You
ask
know,
you. So
yeah.
yeah, are you purposely not saying his name?
No, I mean, I don't go out of my way.
Okay.
I watch see some of his content. I don't go out of my way for. I don't. There's just not a thing. You
Okay.
know. So like I just kind of do my thing, but I was just giving an example that people can relate to.
Right.
That like totally like I don't view my content as anywhere similar to anyone else's. But like people know what I like, right? And they can either enjoy what I enjoy or disagree and avoid what I enjoy. And usually they just avoid me altogether and don't follow. And that's great because like I don't want to force my opinion down at you,
Mhm.
so that's sort of how I approach it.
Cool. Well, let's talk about some of the partnerships you've kind of created over the recently. And we can kind of wrap things up, and I don't want to take too much of your night. I know you've been busy all day and probably another busy day tomorrow too. But some of the partnerships you've created over the past couple years, since we talked last, and I know that you are featured on the Weekender now, since that came back as an online only publication. And then we also touched a little bit earlier on the Penguins. I think you're involved in that to an extent. So talk about these partnerships that you've created over the past couple of years, and how they're important to you and why you decided to kind of explore those opportunities, and kind of where we might see the NEPA pizza review down the road.
Yeah. So to for a certain extent, I always like to have and control my own content, right? So I get a lot of inquiries from people to say like, hey, you mind if I do this or if I do, but like I work hard on my content, so I like my website, my social media to be the place where I sort of
How's it
you
all?
come to find my stuff on my page, right?
Right.
So a lot of times I'll just turn it down. But the Weekender is something that resonated with me because I used to work on Public Square in Wilkes-Barre and in Courthouse Square in Scranton. And you remember that? I forget, were they purple or the yellow? I forget, but they used to have the newspaper bins, and you would take out your Weekender, and
Weekender was Weekender was red, and then in Scranton they had the Electric City, which was
oh,
yellow.
yellow. Okay, got
Yeah.
it. So, but I remember that, and then you find out which band was playing where over the weekend. It was great. So there's a certain bit of nostalgia there, but they were also, respectful to, me being in control of my content. But what I gain from it is a piece of content I create lives on again to another audience, right? For example, so I'm sharing my video of a local pizzeria through the Weekender now, and that local pizzeria gets another shot at getting some eyeballs on it, and getting some more community support. So that was really what that was about. And speaking with them, I understood their vision and where they were going. And I thought it was a good opportunity to, again, it aligned with my mission of connecting people and pizza. Now the Penguins, like, if you just give me one second, I'm very proud of this with the Penguins here. So just give
Yes.
me a
Yes.
second. I got to show you.
Yep.
Got the jersey here. Okay, so first, I've been a Penguins fan since I was a kid, a Pittsburgh Penguins fan, and by default have been a Wilkes-Barre Penguins fan since they arrived.
Yep.
Obviously, huge pizza fan. So when the Penguins reached out to tell me that they were going to change their name for a day, I said, "What do you need me to do? Whatever it is." So we talked about a couple of crazy ideas, whatnot, and we decided that I would be unveiling the jersey. So I made I don't know if you had seen it, but I made like kind of a kooky dad humor slapstick unveiling video where I was playing hockey horribly in my driveway. Fell down a few times, so take a look at those outtakes. So this jersey, which I'm getting a lot of people asking me where can I buy one. To my knowledge, they're not for sale. But this is like my prized possession here. So very proud of that. Working with the Penguins, love the Penguins, love hockey, and so this one is just a cool partnership that I'm super proud of, and was able to sort of take
That's
a couple
that's
of my
awesome.
passions.
That's awesome. I think that is that part of the game on April 1st, which is Saturday.
Yes, and so
All
yeah,
right.
I'll be down there.
So anyone
Obviously,
listening to this, you'll have missed it if you weren't there. This is being recorded. Today is March 30th. So what we're talking about now is going to happen April 1st, which is Saturday. But yeah, there might be shirts for sale.
shirts, hats, pins. I think I have a sticker somewhere up here.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. Over there,
Mhm.
up top, you can see them up here.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Everyone says it looks like SpongeBob, but I
A
think
little
it's
bit. Yeah,
so does a slice of Old Forge pizza. It looks like a
sure.
sponge, right? So
Yeah,
why wouldn't it look like SpongeBob? So I think I saw the artist while he was finishing up the drawing down in Wilkes-Barre. What a talented guy, man! What a great job he did on that. I'm like incredible. I wish I had that skill to create art like that. Really cool character. Love it.
so the team name is going to be Old Forge Pizzas.
Yep.
Now, again, this is going to be after the fact. Is it on April 1st? Is this like an April Fool's type of thing, or is this just kind of like a just coincidence that they're doing a goof on the day of April 1st?
No, I think they, I don't know how they chose the date. I think it's just maybe coincidence. Like
Coincidence, okay.
it's definitely not a joke.
No, no,
The
not a joke in that like this isn't to be taken seriously. It's again, Old Forge Pizza and pizza capital of the world, and it's cool that the Wilkes-Barre Scranton Penguins are even entertaining, like bringing local people in. I'm just saying, like, you know, could they change the name of the jerseys for a day and then just kind of like have fun with the whole day of and things like that?
Yeah, and I saw today they just put up a video of the Penguins players trying Old Forge pizza for the first time, which was pretty funny. Just seeing like some were or not from the state, let alone the country, and
Right.
their faces were a little. I always love watching somebody eat the Old Forge pizza for the first time because usually they're loving it or hate it. There's not
Yeah.
usually a big in between.
Yeah. Yeah. It's it's yeah, it's good or bad.
Yeah, I
Depending where you
guess you
get it
could be
from.
okay on it, but
Yeah.
you know, usually people have strong opinions about it, which is I think makes it even cooler.
People are proud about pizza, man. It's cool. Like I said earlier, it's people grew up with a certain kind or a certain restaurant and whatever it might be. So people are passionate, and I mean, I love people and their passion. It's again going back to what we said earlier. Like you and I, this is our passion. This is what we do, and we love it. And with that being said, I mean, what can we expect from NEPA Pizza Review in 2023? We just wrapping up the first quarter of the year. Still early. A lot of plans ahead. Maybe stuff you can't even mention yet. I think you alluded to a thing that's coming up soon that you can't talk about. But is there anything this year that you can disclose?
Yeah, so like I said, I expect to be a part of the WVIA pizza documentary. I think that's going to be super cool. People are going to be all about it. The project I'm referring to is sort of a longer format video, not a reel, right? So I want to do something a little more professional. Like my video style, I call it authentic, which is double speak for low rent. I use my cell phone to fill things
Yeah,
or film things.
dude, but it's good though. It's like, and I'm sorry to cut you off. I am, but like, there's a lot to be said about being genuine, and I think the success that I've had, not only doing this, but even in sales when I was at the Weekender. I don't know if you remember that or not. I was the Weekender for a long time. I was the GM at one point, but the success that I've had at the radio station or Weekender, the radio station, my current job now at Axelrad screen printing, like just being a genuine human being. I think that goes a long way, and people want to do business and they want to follow those people and they want to support those people who are just genuine. There's no ulterior motive. There's no, um, you know, we're not two faced. We're genuine people doing what we love, and that really comes through. And I think that's why you've had a lot of success as well. So
Eh, I measure success in the relationships that I develop through this, and
yeah,
I've developed a relationship with you, and I'm really grateful to have me on the program twice now. You're a very, very talented interviewer. I appreciate it.
well, thank you.
So that's how I measure success. People look at metrics and things, but really, this is fulfilling, and this is just my passion, and I think you know what that's like
Hmm.
to share. So that's how I measure success. I'm having fun. I'm fulfilled with this, and I love it.
Yeah, but I'm sorry I cut you off about you're talking about this year and your videos being low rent.
Yeah, low rent, and I'm proud that they're low rent, right?
Yeah,
Like
hell yeah,
I use let's see, my phone is somewhere. Here's that's my whole film crew right there. Now
yep.
I did upgrade a little bit of I got a one of those clip-on microphones, getting kind of
Whoa,
fancy, you know what I mean?
whoa, buddy.
Bluetooth
People
and
are people
everything.
are gonna start thinking you're selling out.
Yeah. So well, I got a lot of complaints from readers saying, "Hey, your audio sounds like garbage." So, you try to grow with the times.
Well, here I'll tell you this right now. I appreciate your setup. You came with a professional microphone. Not a lot of people come to podcast interviews with a good setup and audio. Now, audio, I think people have accepted a little poorer quality, especially since COVID happened, because a lot of stuff was just being done over the internet. But audio is important, especially when you're listening to it just in earbuds or headphones. Like if it sounds like shit, people don't are going to turn it off. So, you know, that upgrade is a good thing. So I have to agree with you know that addition for you. Not that it
Always
was
open to
bad before.
suggestions.
I'm just saying that
No,
you're
hey, I don't get better. Like I love constructive criticism, right? So like, and also love the trolls too, right? They come out like it makes my day when the trolls come out, right?
yeah,
It just means, hey, you stopped by, you
you're
saw
paying
what I'm
attention.
doing,
Yeah,
you know what I mean? So usually, but a lot of the times though, you call them out a little bit, not in a mean way, but and you end up, oh, geez, I didn't realize there's actually some substance here, or what, and then like you find some common ground. Some guy was telling me all Pennsylvania pizza was trash, and I said, okay, well, let's talk about the places you've tried and when you tried them. And it was one place 20 years ago where he formed his opinion about an entire state. And the next thing you know, we're talking about maybe, meeting up sometime to try
Yeah,
some local, you know what I mean? So like, and that's another, I think pizza does unite people as
for
well. And
sure. For
we
sure.
need some more pizza in the world, right?
Yeah. More pizza, less war.
That's right.
More pizza, less guns.
I mean,
I'll leave, I'll leave,
you're the printing guy. You can get the shirts going.
I know, you're right. There's a lot of shirts I want to get made. There's a lot of shirts I want to get made. But yeah, like back to you. Plans for 2023.
Oh yeah. So like I said, I want to do just to see that I can pull it off. I want to do a little more professional piece or two or three or four. But also really focusing on getting to those menu items that people are, specifically telling me to get to. Um, and and I also want to gain a little perspective, get to the, a big city or two again. Like I think that helps when I get to New York, New Haven, Philly. Would love to get to Chicago, and because I think people are saying, "But you're NEPA pizza review," but I gain so much perspective when I have these different pizza experiences, and I think it makes me better,
For sure.
more well informed, and I think it's important to sort of get out of your
Your,
shell a little bit
yeah, your
and come
growth,
back.
Yeah, for
Mhm.
sure. Yep.
Yeah. So and then just more collaborations and like just working with good people, finding good people and like, lifting them up, so lift each other up and just kind of go from there. But really just keep growing, keep learning. That's really my whole game for 2023.
Hell yeah. I remember our first discussion we had, you introduced me to the cupping pepperoni.
Yes, cup and char.
Cup and char. You actually so our interview back then it was released on the 1st of February, but it was maybe a week or so before that. I actually made that for the big game that year. I remember going to Wegmans and I was texting you or whatever. I'm like, where can I find it? And I was like, I was on the hunt and I found it finally, and
To the deli.
that's all I've used ever since.
Oh,
The way that cups and little grease that kind of sits in that little reservoir there, it's the
you
best.
can't go back to the flat pepperoni.
No,
Absolutely.
that's garbage. They should stop making that.
Yeah. Although if I'm having like an old forge kind of pizza, I don't like the cup pepperoni doesn't make sense to me. Like how
Sure.
they lay it flat, three on a slice. Like to me, that's just how you eat it.
Yeah.
But cup and char, it's hard
Yeah.
to go back.
That
It
char on
always
the
be
top,
there.
that outside there, it's beautiful. It's a beautiful thing. But
Oh, it really is.
Jim, always a pleasure talking to you. And I hope that we make this trip to Amadeo's a reality.
Let's do that.
We can make some content out of it. We can bond over it. We can make new friends over it, not with just each other, but just the restaurant itself, maybe some people that are there. And we gotta do it soon because you never know these places. Like we're in fortunate times where places are here today, gone tomorrow. It's a tough business. I respect everybody who's out there hustling and grinding and putting out good product and serving us good pizza and good food and good French and soup and everything. I have a lot of respect for those places, and I'm glad that there's people out there like you who are taking them and elevating them to a level that they deserve, and it's a great thing to be a part of. So thank you for doing what you do. Any restaurant out there that listens to this or just watching or whatever it might be, a lot of respect. So
Hey man, much props to you too. Like you're shining a spotlight on all kinds of things local, and it's so important. Local is in small business and individuals and storytelling, so important.
I love it.
And then like spread the word.
Hell yeah. Well, thanks for your time. I appreciate it. And I'll hit you up behind the scenes and we'll get that date to Amadeus figured out. What's your website?
Website, nepapizzareview.com.
Easy
And
enough.
all my socials are at NEPA Pizza Review, YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, TikTok.
Very cool. TikTok, get on that. Everyone
Yeah.
check out Jim. He's a quality guy doing quality things and leading people in the right direction as far as food goes. So check him out. And Jim, I will talk to you very soon.
Looking forward to it, buddy.
All
Thanks so
right.
much.
I'll talk to you.
All right.
See ya.